So as some of you may have noticed, I did not upload a video last Sunday. I decided to do this out of solidarity for the Black Lives Matter movement. I have spent the week listening and learning and educating myself, and I will leave some resources in the description box below for you guys if you would like to do the same. I will be continuing to educate myself in this matter, and I urge all of you guys to do the same. This is a very important movement, and we still have a lot of work to do, and the movement does not end here. We cannot let it end here. So again, those resources will be in the box below, but I just wanted to go ahead and start this week's video with that in case anyone was wondering where I was at last week. Hello beautiful humans, and welcome back to my channel. Whew, it is a bit toasty in here today. This week I wanted to share with you guys the 5 things I would change about our van build. We absolutely love our build. We are so happy with how it turned out, and it suits our lifestyle perfectly. But with that being said, we did build this van on a very big time crunch. We only had about a month to work with, and I really wish we would have had some more time to spend planning our layout, playing around with different layouts, just kind of sit with things a little bit more before we got started. But again, it turned out so wonderful, and I couldn't have asked for anything better. But without me rambling anymore, let's just jump right into it. So the first thing that I would change about this build is there is no dining area or like a dinette space. This is something that I really wanted to incorporate into our build. We had a really hard time figuring out where we could fit one into this space because we did want to do the L-shaped couch instead of the traditional 2 benches and a table bed situation, but that layout tends to have a much more narrow floor space than what we ended up with in this build because we opted for the L-shaped pull-out couch. Floor space definitely took priority over the dinette space. We tried to make this build feel as spacious as possible because we do live full-time in this van, and for a part of the year we live full-time in cities. We wanted this space to feel very homey and very comfortable, and having more floor space, not only for us but for Haley, just seemed like the better option. So if we ever build another van in the future, a dinette space will definitely be included in that build. The second thing I would change about this build is to build in a toilet. We have, since we moved into the van due to COVID, added a toilet to our build, and I will link that video up here for you guys if you're curious where that toilet is at. It's not built into the structure or the cabinetry, and I just don't like the way that it looks aesthetically. I would much prefer to have it built into a cabinet or a drawer so that we could put it away when it's not in use. Also, toilet wise, the porta potty that we did go with is very small and compact, which is great, but in the future I definitely would probably want to go with the Nature Head composting toilet just for sanitary / like smell reasons. Because it is a porta potty, we do have to put that blue liquid in that you see in traditional porta potties. Sometimes it just doesn't smell the best, okay? The reason we opted for the smaller toilet in this case is because we did not account for it in our build, and the larger toilet would not fit into the structure that we already have in place. There is quite a bit of a price difference as well. The toilet we got was around $70, whereas the Nature's Head composting toilet runs around $900. The price difference kind of came into play on this next one as well. But the third thing I would change about our van is our fridge. Fridge-wise, we went with a mini fridge that could be both 12 volt and 120 volt. I believe these are originally intended for like semi-trucks, things like that, and they can be plugged into the cigarette lighter outlet thing that's in most vehicles, but we didn't use that particular feature. We went ahead and hardwired it in. The fridge we ended up going with cost us about $350, give or take. There isn't a freezer space in the fridge, and I just really wish that there was. So this again is not something that we like desperately need. It's just something, if I were to do again, I would go ahead and shell out the additional money to get the Dometic fridge that has both the freezer and the fridge compartment and is a much lower energy consumption fridge. The Dometic fridge option, I believe the price range was around $850, so that was a pretty large price difference. This is something I'm working on, just like personally. Just spending $800 on a tiny fridge just like kills me inside. Again, same with the toilet. I just couldn't make myself do it. So I do tend to usually opt for the cheaper option. Honestly, over the last 6 months, a lot of the times that I have done that, the cheap option ends up really just not being that great of quality, and I end up having to shell out the money for the expensive one anyway. You'd think I would learn by now, but here we are. The fourth thing I would change about this fan build is an electrical thing. It stopped recording. I'm not really sure why. Technical difficulties. So up until this point, all of our electric has been run off of our 300-watt solar system and the battery bank that is connected to that. While this does provide us a pretty ample amount of energy, if we are running our fridge full time within 3 or 4 days, we find our battery bank dipping into the yellow, which means it's about at half charge. Going anywhere below that on the type of batteries that we have installed in this build does affect the battery life overall, and as these batteries were very expensive and are meant to last us about 5 years, we try our absolute hardest not to hit that yellow, and when and if we do hit that yellow, we have to stop using all of the electrical components that we have. This includes lights, our water pump for the sink, our vent fans, our fridge, all of those things, the inverter and outlets as well. Actually, just this morning, Josh went ahead and connected our battery bank to the alternator of the vehicle, as well as it is still connected to our solar. For anyone out there like me that knows absolutely nothing about electrical, basically what this enables us to do is to charge our battery bank for our electrical system while we drive off the alternator of the vehicle. We did install a switch so that when we are not driving, we can turn this off and we don't accidentally drain the battery of the car. But this is just a great little supplement to our battery bank that we have in place. So I'll keep you guys updated if that kind of solves our fridge issue, because as of right now, we just turn the fridge on the day that I buy groceries, leave it on for a day or two, and turn it off just to prevent draining our batteries. So I'm hoping that this allows us to keep our fridge on all the time, which would be absolutely great, especially now that it is getting warmer out. And the last thing that I would change about this fan build, I actually think I should probably just show you, because if I try and explain it, it's not going to make any sense. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys. Along the side of the wall here, we have this bench that goes all the way along the side and meets up with our couch back here. Excuse my notes. I have a pretty severe case of ADD and I could just ramble on for hours. So to save myself some time, gotta have some notes. So this bench is split into 2 compartments. This back compartment we use for dirty clothes, and this front one is where all of our solar is kept. But if you guys want a little bit more information about how this build is set up, I will go ahead and pop my van tour up on the screen for you guys so you can kind of get a feel for the layout. This setup works really great in theory, and we didn't run into any issues until the bed is pulled out. When the bed is pulled out, it comes from here across. So the issue here is that the lid opens here and the bed comes out to here. So in order to lift the bench to open it, we kind of have to like lift the bed up as well. So there's weight sitting on the top, so you have to hold it up, worry about not dropping it, smushing your fingers while you're digging around in there, and it's just kind of a huge pain. The only time we really use the outlets, ironically, is when the bed is out, because Netflix in bed is far superior to Netflix on the couch. Personal opinion. So the simple solution to this problem would be to replace the lids on these, which we may do at some point in the future, but for now we're just gonna leave it where it's at. Editing Tori here. Turns out all of the outro footage I filmed on Friday was out of focus, and I did not notice until right now. So I just had to pop on today and wrap this video up for you guys and myself. If you guys liked this video, please go ahead and smash that thumbs up button for me and subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every Sunday. Apologies about the slew of technical difficulties this week. I'm going to get back to finishing up this video for you guys, and I will see you guys next Sunday.